Those of you who have read Old Testament stories, you would have noticed that in ancient times, they had a habit of greeting one another by saying, my Lord. They referred to one another by saying, my Lord, and then they would add somebody's name after that. For instance, if I meet Adelaide, I would say, my Lord Adelaide, how are you? If I meet Ntando, I say, my Lord Ntando, how are you? You see? Now, that should not be mistaken to mean that we are worshiping one another. The reason why they referred to each other as my Lord is because they recognized the divinity within them. So when I meet you, I first honor that divinity that is in you. I first honor the God that you carry, and I refer to you as my Lord. So I'm not worshiping you. I'm simply honoring the divine presence of God in you. That's why I would refer to you as my Lord. You see, that's the reason why if you read the story of Abraham and Jacob and them, they always refer to each other as my Lord. So us as believers as well as Christians today, we need to come back to that consciousness of realizing that the person next to me carries the divine image of God. Whenever they say I am, they are referring to the God within them. Whenever Denzel says I am, Denzel is referring to the God within him. And the way for me to honor that God within you, I would refer to you as my Lord. You see that? And as long as I do that, I'm also awakening in you that consciousness. Once Denzel says to Adelaide, my Lord, Adelaide will become awake to the reality that she carries the Lord Jesus Christ within her. When I say my Lord to Ntando, Ntando becomes awakened to the fact that he carries God. You see, that's why we say my Lord to one another, to remind ourselves that we carry that divine image. Before we call or speak, we are answered on the basis of how we see ourselves. Remember in Isaiah, he said, before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear. This is revealing to us that before we call or speak, we are already answered on the basis of I am, on the basis of how we see ourselves. Let me explain this by way of an example. When you go into prayer, it's not what you say with your mouth, your verbal expression, that's going to get the results and the answers. Because you can find two people praying for the exact same thing. One of them has a positive outcome and the other one has a negative outcome or a zero outcome. What causes that? Why do two people pray for the exact same thing? One of them has an answer and the other one walks out with zero results or negative results. It's because of this. We are answered on the basis of how we see ourselves. Somebody please type this in the comment section. Before we call, we are answered on the basis of how we see ourselves. That's what Isaiah chapter 65 is all about. When it says, while they are yet speaking, I will hear. What is God hearing while you are yet speaking? He's not hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth. No. He's looking at your mental state. He's looking at his name on you, which is I am. That's what God is looking at. So he will answer you on the basis of your mental state. He will answer you on how you perceive yourself. If you're praying for good health, you need to perceive yourself in that state of good health. Because if you don't perceive yourself in that state of good health, you're not going to have the result that you're asking for.